actually switching the name from what was Skillora, and it's going to be, and this is kind of just in here, but um, it's very exciting opportunity. It is for prepping on interviewing and preparing yourself by AI interviewing. It also generates your resumes to an exact T of the latest and greatest. And then it also prepares you with questions to expect for interviews as far as beginner, intermediate, and expert level. So with that, I've been dabbling in that as well, and that is going to be launching, and I'm very, very excited about that. And so that's kind of what I've been doing lately, and otherwise, just been trucking forward. I'm very tired, though, I will tell you.
Really exciting stuff. Congratulations, man. That's amazing, amazing
Thank you.
stuff. Good for you, man. You
Thanks.
look like you were golfing today too. Is it possible? You got the golf shirt
Unfortunately,
on?
no.
Yeah.
Golf is a passion of mine. I just haven't had time to do it, and it's been hotter than hell outside too.
Oh yeah. Good stuff, Chris. Brennan?
Yeah, thanks, Coach. I am Brennan Thompson. For those of you who do not know me, like Rob mentioned, we met probably about 5 months ago now, I guess, 5 or 6 months ago, before I started my own community on school. I was helping Rob with his. Prior to school, I have a 30-year career ranging from sales and marketing, finance, insurance, risk management, global corporate risk management, actually. And over that 30-year period, I've been both an entrepreneur and a corporate exec, sometimes at the same time, sometimes kind of pivoting between the two. 2 years ago, I left corporate America for good, left the best job I ever had to venture into the unknown. For about the past 10 years, I've been a certified coach, both as a life coach and a business coach. And I kind of merge the two because I really don't see a difference between the two when I'm helping my business clients. My partner Shannon and I launched our company called Point Eight Business Solutions about a year ago, and about 3 months ago, so I'm the baby in the group here. About 3 months ago, we launched our first school community called Recreate, and got some really quick traction on that. Got to top 1% in the money category, up there with my good friend Dr. Steven there, uh, in that same category. And then about a week ago, yeah, a week ago yesterday, we launched a second community called the Hooroo Crew. And happy to announce that as of this afternoon, we got to the top 1% in the relationship category. So I'm a double star winner now. Um, and the Recreate is more for entrepreneurs and kind of helping with that business journey, both mindset and then business tactics and strategies for profit acceleration, which will be launching our business academy here in the next couple of days. The Hooroo Crew is really where networking, community building, in-person meetups, and fun kind of intersect. And in the 3 months I've been on school, I think I've learned a couple of things. I've seen a lot of people who sort of have fallen out of school. Um, Engagement seems to be one of the hardest things that some people are finding in their communities, and it seems to be one of the easiest things that I'm finding in mine. So I'm aiming to help people increase their engagement in their communities, and really want to make it fun for people, because I've just talked to so many community owners who are burned out because it's not easy doing what we do. But it can be easier, and it can certainly be more fun, and that's my focus. So with that, I will turn it back over to you, Rob. Thank you.
So just curious, how'd you come up with the name? I love the name and I love the logo too. It's awesome.
Well, since I have the inspiration source on the call here himself, so I could tell the story without having to talk about him in third person. Stephen posted in his group this idea, which is kind of along the lines that um, is true to him. He talks about it all the time, and that is, stop trying to be a guru in your communities. It turns people off. They don't need to hear anybody else barking more things at them and telling them what's right and what's wrong. And instead, to kind of use Stephen's words, like if they were in your living room, how would you treat them, right? Be a host. And so he made a post about that. I engaged on his post in his community in magnetic memberships, and I said, "Be a host, not a guru. Be a huru." That's where the word came from. But then the second play on words is HURU, huru, is also shorthand for who are you, and so that's the networking part. So I want to be a host, not a guru. I want to be a huru, and I want to know who you are, and I want to network. And our goal is to really make the Huru crew the as big as we can when it comes to the networking space, especially here on School.
Great sound to it too. It just flows so nicely. I love it. Great stuff.
Appreciate that, man.
Yeah, congrats, man. I'm sure without a doubt it's gonna be a huge success, right? So we we're there with you. We're definitely there with you, brother.
Love it. Thank you.
Let's go ahead with Bear.
All right. Well, you all know my name. I'm a I'm a 65-year-old Puerto Rican Cherokee veteran, and basically, I was doing bodyguard work. I got to do bodyguard work for like Freddie Fender, the group War. I don't know if you're familiar with them. Lowrider, and I decided, I wanted to do something, different. So I went to college, and then I started working. 2000, I started working with at-risk youth, and then I also worked at a homeless shelter. And 2008, I had to go on Social Security because of some health issues. And so I was doing I was working with the at-risk youth for free. That way I didn't lose my SSI. And now I'm at a point where I want to get off of SSI. So once I get a vehicle, I'm going to go out and I already got a name, so you know I'm looking to be paid, like through probation, juvenile hall, you know, and also I want to work with foster care because like when they reach 18, they get kicked out, and they're not really prepared. So most of the foster care, they end up homeless. So I want to be able to step in and help prepare them, for life after foster care. So yeah, so I want to add on, not just gang members and people going in and out of juvenile halls. I want to start working with foster care children as well.
Commendable of you, man. Have you ever considered starting, like, especially now with the $9 option with the school community, starting a community for troubled youth? That'd be a pretty cool idea. I'm sure you'd get a whole bunch of kids joining, and you could help people without, because you mentioned you're having trouble with transportation and whatnot and the health issues. Maybe the online route might be interesting.
Yeah, I don't know. There's a lot of troubled youth in school though.
Well, you get them in. You'd have to get them in through social. You invite them in through social. So you're active on YouTube and TikTok and all of that. You could get them through TikTok and invite them into your school community, man.
Yeah,
It'd be an idea.
yeah. I got to think of it because right now I'm kind of spreading myself thin.
Mm-hmm.
Like right now I'm trying to learn more about chakras and mudras and hypnosis, and then I have a group I have two groups in Facebook. Um, you know, one's dealing with philosophy, and then the other like self help. So yeah, I've been kind of spreading myself, and then with my wife's health and stuff, and so like last night I was up all night, taking care of her. She had went to the hospital because she got scratches in her eyes, and then she found out she has glaucoma. So yeah, I've been kind of burning the candle.
Thanks for being here, Bear. I really appreciate you. Appreciate your story, man, and keep it up. Keep your head up. I know you're going
Oh yeah,
through challenging times, but you're a warrior. You're a
oh
warrior.
yeah, oh yeah. I mean, to me, when I speak about it, a lot of times it helps me, clear my mind.
Mhm,
That's why I shared with you.
mhm,
That's why I say like good news.
mhm,
The message I sent you, it's some good
mhm,
news. Some
mhm,
real good possibility.
mhm. That's
So
good stuff. Good to hear, man. Thank you for sharing. I appreciate you, Bear. Dr. Steven.
Hey, how you guys doing today? Good to see some new faces. I definitely been a long time since I feel like I've done gotta be like 3 weeks since I was on your last call, I believe. Three
Mhm,
Tuesdays ago. But yeah, my name is Dr. Steven Bushima. My previous life, I was an occupational therapist with a doctorate degree, serving clients, but feeling unfulfilled at the end of the day, which is kind of weird to say out loud. But I feel like my cup was empty, right? And I didn't have anything to give to my family. And my partner Jamie Coleman, she's been an entrepreneur for quite some time now, and she got me on board with school about exactly quite literally almost a year ago from today tomorrow. So
mhm.
having a 365 anniversary here. But yeah, we have a membership called Magnetic Memberships on School platform, and we essentially help you build scale memberships on School. And we've been doing that now. She's been doing it now for 2.5 years. I've been doing it now exactly a year. And yeah, just love this platform and want to give back. And as you guys know, most of you guys know, I come from a place of service. And I think that was the number one thing that resonates with a lot of people. At the end of the day, a lot of people want an alternative motive. And it makes sense, right? You're running a business. But I just connect to the service mode. And I think that can differ a lot of people if you just switch that, I want to make a sale, and start actually seeing if you can help that person on the other end. So, I'm doing my best on School. I just recently got an ambassador role. So I'm gonna be shooting some ads. So if you do see the ads, please give me some love. They're gonna be right on the School platform itself, and I'm actually filming tomorrow. And so super excited about this opportunity.
Super excited, and congratulations on that. So, where are you going to be posting these ads on social, on
Yeah,
Facebook and stuff?
yeah. So it's interesting. I got that message from Sam last week, and he essentially just sent me this, like, literally, it's just so strange. He sent me a DM on School, and I'm like, okay, what is this linked to? It was just like nothing was written. It was kind of funny. And I clicked into it and I'm like, what is this? Like, oh, this is interesting. So it's essentially what it is they're getting people on School that have success, I guess, on School to
Mhm.
essentially run ads for them. And so you'll see, I'm sure you've been seeing them a lot on Instagram and Facebook. But essentially it's an
Yeah.
opportunity to earn money, but also get some, stock in the actual platform itself, and then obviously to get recognition for our own community, right? Magnetic Memberships from my end. But yeah,
Mhm.
essentially I'm be running ads for School, and they're actually editing, and they're paying for all that stuff. So it's kind of it's a cool opportunity.
It's very cool, man. Congratulations once again, man. You've been kicking
Yeah,
butt a year. Wow. I remember when we first connected, it was literally a
crazy,
year ago. It was maybe like day
literally
two or something. And here we
crazy.
are, man, 1 year later, just like that. It's crazy, right?
It's crazy. It really is
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Congratulations on your success, man, so far. And it's just the beginning, man.
Thank you guys so much. Great to be here. Seriously, great to be here.
Thank you, man. Thank you for being here. Really appreciate you, man.
Yep, of course.
Mr. Michael Risk. Michael,
Yes. Hey. Hey guys.
how are you, man? Nice to meet you.
Yeah, good to meet you. Max Reisman has been he's been planting seeds about this group. I'm sorry, I normally would give my undivided attention, but my wife is on her way back from Poland and I'm gonna have to pick her up soon. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to stay the whole time. Yeah, she's in transit. She's pretty close. So I might have about 10 minutes, but
No
so,
worries.
Michael Risk. I have been serving the health, fitness, wellness industry since 1999, initially as a personal trainer. Then I became a massage therapist because a bunch of my clients were getting hurt. And I just had very low physical capacity. And then I ended up getting into corrective movement therapy, learning how to combine those skills of personal trainer and massage therapist. I went through this amazing 40-week mentorship program in 2009 called the Gift Mentorship Program. There's about 1,500 of us worldwide now, and they taught me how to see movement in a very unique way. Essentially, you could think of it like I learned how to ask the body questions that reveals where its limitations are. And so what I did not expect was when I went through this mentorship that it would actually completely transform how I interpreted behavior. And so my personal training and massage therapy practice started unintentionally evolving into a coaching practice. And so now what I do is I kind of it may be a little complex to explain. It's not too hard. Okay, so basically what I do is I create environments that naturally bring the best out of people, and do that by building people's deepest needs into the engagement itself, so they don't have to try to become successful. They're just naturally successful. So things like recognition, validation, safety, predictability, trust, honesty, vulnerability. These are all things that are built into the engagement so that because it's when someone's in that right environment, they just naturally thrive. They don't have to push the river, so to speak. And then I take them through kind of my coaching sequence, and it helps them see essentially how what's really driving their day-to-day challenges is not the circumstances themselves, but what they're reflecting, and they're reflecting things that are unresolved in themselves. And so I show them how their identity impacts their reality, and I help them get back into right relationship with themselves. And I take them on this journey of self-exploration to help them know who they are apart from things. I help them reestablish a powerful self-image. The stance of my company, the Whole Person Project, is that goodness is inherent in creation. You can't become good because you already are good. You can only wake up to your goodness, receive it as a gift, and powerfully express it as the life you want to live. And yeah, just been kind of changing lives, taking names. I'm fantastic on the service delivery aspect. I've found it challenging. I found it challenging on this, as far as like really defining, I guess, like kind of what my niche is. I know that probably sounds weird given this kind of robust description. It just really seems I don't know if I just can't get a hold of it. I think just clarifying things of that nature have been kind of troubling and challenging. And so I'm really just looking to learn more about how to get that part of my business nailed down. But from a service delivery standpoint, like I couldn't have more social proof. People are really making significant quality of life changes.
It's unbelievable, man. Thank you for sharing. Absolutely. So where do you get most of your clients from? Like, do you have a website, or are you on social media? Do you have a school community?
Yeah, I have a school community and also a website.
Okay, nice. What's the name of your school community?
It's called the Whole Person Project.
The Whole Person Project. I like it. Nice. I'll check it out for sure. Welcome, and it's a real pleasure to meet you. Are you Polish, by the way?
I'm not. No, my wife is she's a mutt, but she's partly Polish. And so they went on a 10-day genealogical tour. And
Okay, nice.
just getting back today.
That's cool. I'm actually going to be heading out to Poland in October. I'm also a mutt. I'm a half Polish as well, and I'll be traveling to the motherland for the first time in my life. So bringing my mother there. It's her 75th birthday, so I'm bringing her back to Poland to take a look. So yeah, very exciting. Yeah.
Enjoy.
Yeah, thank you, man. Pleasure meeting you, and thank you for being here. I really appreciate it.
Yeah.
Let's go with none other than Maxwell.
So what's up, everyone? Yeah, just joined. I was coming from the gym. But yeah, it's cool to be here. As always, love these calls. And are we just introducing ourselves, Rob, right now?
Yes, sir. Yes,
Uh,
sir.
Cool. So yeah, my name is Maxwell, and I'm currently working on a community all about uniting people worldwide to heal loneliness. And I've been in a bit of like a stump lately in regards to kind of seeing my vision and mission and purpose with what I'm doing. So I ended up recently today, I just decided I may as well either way I'm learning through action. So I decided to take the action to invest in a little mentor. These two guys who are really good at what they do. Their names are Bill and Rex from Focus Founders, and they've built multiple six-figure businesses. And just the way like they interact with me on the call, I could get a sense that like these guys are going to help me grow. So I decided to take a chance and go for it. And if not, like worst comes to worst, lose some money and I get scammed or something. But I think that's the way that I see a lot of people on school are like hesitant to like kind of invest in a mentor or do something because they think it's like the price you're paying is like too much, right? But this guy, Bill, he was telling me a story and he was like he's a very genuine guy. I get the impression he's being sincere, but he was like in so much debt, like $60,000 or so in debt or whatever. And then he ended up like like investing in a mentor while in debt. And because of that, he was able to get out of it through that kind of experience. So I think it's like the coolest way to learn. And we'll see if this ends up being a good idea, but just thought I'd share that right now.
No risk, no reward. Good stuff, man. Thanks for introducing yourself. How was the gym?
It was good, yeah. Good to get moving.
Nice. Good stuff. Usually you typically go in the evenings?
Yeah, I've been going in the evenings lately just because like timing wise and stuff. Ideally in the mornings would be the best for me, if possible. Yeah.
Yeah, I feel you. I feel you. Thanks again, man. Mr. Felipe.
Yes, all good. Can you hear me properly, please?
Yes, sir.
Okay, wonderful. So, hi everyone. My name is Felipe. So, I am a health and wellness advisor, tech builder, and enthusiast. So, I help people to be able to evolve, improve the quality of life via awareness, discipline, mindset, your identity growth in general, in the nutshell. So I am instilling into some of the communities that are here, and other than that, glad to connect with people. Compared to Dr. Steven, I have also an occupational therapy background, just to mention. So it would be glad to connect with you. Thank you.
Thanks for being here as usual, man. I appreciate you.
Thank you.
Mr. Scott.
Hey guys,
Good morning,
how
man.
are you? I'm great, man. I'm great.
Good stuff. Good to see you.
Yeah, sorry for being late.
All good, all good. So, why don't you introduce yourself to the group?
Yeah, so well, my name is Scott. I've been working as a coach for 7 or 8 months now, something like that. I have been into self improvement for about 3 years, focusing on working out, kind of holistic self improvement, working out for the body, reading for the mind, and meditation for expanding your consciousness and developing is getting a good mental health. Um, I've been doing also online business consulting for some time, and I'm right now also on sales. And I got my school community, my YouTube channel. Yeah, I guess that's pretty much it.
Good stuff. Good stuff. Thanks for introducing yourself, Scott, and thank you for being here. I hope that your injuries are healing up nicely from the
Oh
motorcycle.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, 100%. I'm so much better, and also I have gotten so much better at the bike right now. I'm
It's a
riding
good
every
thing.
day. Everything is good. All the wounds are basically have disappeared entirely. I'm healing like fucking Wolverine. Trust me. This.
And you're
Good to
growing your
know.
hair back too.
Yeah, that's right. The hair is growing slowly back.
Oh yeah.
Let's go ahead with Camilla.
Hi. Hi. I'm sorry. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay. Hi, everyone. My name is Camila. I'm 19. I live in Los Angeles, and currently I'm in my first year, I just finished my first year of college, so I'm going into my sophomore year of college. I'm majoring in business administration, hoping to get um a degree in marketing,
Mhm.
and yeah, that's about it about me.
Good stuff. Good stuff. Thank you for being here, Camilla. Really appreciate you. Really appreciate you stepping up and introducing yourself. I know it's not always easy. Mr. Chris Martin.
Happy Tuesday, everybody. This is Christopher from Boston. I think I've introduced myself a whole bunch of times, so I'll try to do this as quick as possible. I'm in business development and staffing, but I think I consider myself a school power user. So always love these calls. Love to see Dr. Steven when he can join. He looks well rested from vacation, so hopefully, those videos will come out good. I did see Mr. Hormozy dropping some new ads too. So that's should be interesting. For school, I think I'm a member of everyone's community for the hosts, including Dr. Steven. I just joined Huru as well. And again, it just makes, I like saying the name makes me feel happy, but I think in terms of what I hope the group will do for me is I'm hoping to leverage what I'm learning in the Wake Up Academy. And if anyone is into or would like some assistance with sleep, I suggest you take a look at the Wake Up Academy, where I'm now officially a moderator. And Brennan and I just came off of a great call, so who knows? I'm targeting maybe September or so to potentially launch maybe a hobby community. So we'll see how things all kind of flush out. And what I'll close out with is usually, if I'm on school, my avatar is a giraffe. So I am into crypto. So always glad to have the crypto conversation as well. But appreciate the time, Rob. And yeah, I'm looking forward to the bigger dialogue.
Good stuff. Thanks, Chris. Appreciate you, man. Zoom user. I'm not sure what your name is. You're on mute.
I'm sorry.
There you go.
I thought I actually didn't log in. Now I remember because I was rushing to get on the call and I didn't log in with my name. So I'm sorry, I'm under Zoom user, but my name is Lori.
No worries. No worries.
I'm the one you kicked out last week and wouldn't let back in. So I got bone to pick with you. No, I'm kidding.
I'm glad you made it back, though. Appreciate you. And apologies once again.
No worries, no worries. I understand completely. But the other Zoom calls that I'm on, mostly through LifeWave, most of them we stay muted, so I don't even show up. I just, I'm there for the call and I listen but I don't, we don't participate because it's you listen to me type of call. So I'm used to being muted and no picture. So I'm sorry, I didn't mean to come at this meeting that way.
Not at all. It's just a misunderstanding.
Yeah,
All
no,
good.
definitely.
Yeah.
So my name is Lori Hurley. I just recently started with LifeWave. And let's see, gosh, I don't even know how I got here. My cousin actually got me into this to see if it would be a good fit for me as a way to make some part-time money. My mother passed away kind of recently and suddenly, unexpectedly. And I had to quit work and take care of my father. So I've been doing that for 3 years. And then my brother finally joined the party. So he's now taking care of my father, which I'm thankful for because my daughter just had a baby, my daughter and son-in-law. So I've been watching my granddaughter, and he knew that I was going to need a way to make some extra money because I want to stay watching my granddaughter. So what started as a, hey, see if this works to try to make some extra money is turned into be a passion for me now. I love the company. I love what the patch does for me personally. I've lost 12 pounds in a month and a half. And I have never felt so good in my life. So I'm a little bit older, so I'm not used to doing social media. but
Mhm.
I am trying. I am trying to put different videos and things out there on social media. So I'm kind of working through that learning curve of I don't know what I'm doing, but I'm gonna give it a whirl. So that's basically it.
Yeah, no, thank you for being here, and apologies once again. It's a great
No.
pleasure meeting you.
No worries. Same
And
here.
yeah, and good for you for stepping out of your comfort zone and trying something new. And you see,
Right.
you found something, you found a passion,
Yes.
and that's a beautiful thing. So
Yeah.
good for you. Much success to you. Much
Thank you.
success to you. Yeah, and
Thank
if
you. I
there's anything
appreciate
that
it.
we can do to help you, please don't be shy.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
My pleasure. My pleasure. Mr. Jesus, I believe, is at work, usually on this call, so I'll give it a second and I'll move on. Mr. Lionel. Or Lionel.
Hello?
Yes, sir.
Can you hear me?
We can hear you.
Okay. Hello, my name is Lionel Reese, and like my passion right now is like acting right now. It just like seems like something I would enjoy and something I would do for the next few years. I like going to the gym a lot. I mean, the gym is like the main thing that I always do every day. I really love it. So also my dad is always by my side, trying to help me with everything that he can. So yeah.
So, Lionel, thank you for being here, and thank you for your consistency. You've been really, I mean, you've been posting about your gym every single day, man, and the workouts that you're doing, you and your dad are really killer. Keep it up. You're doing amazing. Last but not least, we have Mr. Tyler. Tyler, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here. I was trying to unmute myself here.
All good.
How you guys doing? Good to meet y'all. My name is Tyler Schrock. I'm an owner of a landscaping business in Topeka, Kansas. For the past 6 years, it's been my passion, my pride and joy. It's been challenging to say the least. It's been very rewarding. But I feel like, I don't know, I feel like God is calling me to something a little bit different. And I'm just going through some self-reflection and thinking about different things, and that's how I kind of stumbled across the group, just to change my mindset a little bit, get some perspective from somebody else that maybe has been in my shoes before. I'm thinking about starting a school community. Exactly for what right now, I've got a lot of ideas going through my head. So
Okay.
it's it's just I'm along for the ride. The good creator blessed me with Second Life and another opportunity at it, and I believe I'm here to spread some kind of message, but I don't know what that is right now. So I'm a firm believer in Christ, consciousness, and the interaction that I have with him and God is phenomenal. I wish I could speak more on it, but I'm not. So I'm looking for some like-minded people just to collaborate with and see where it goes.
To the right place, man. So I believe you're a member of Pure Life Mindset. You just joined recently.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yes, sir.
Awesome. Great to have you, man. Great to meet you. I'd suggest joining a few of the communities that are on here: Magnetic Membership, Sales Vibe Innovation, as well as Recreate. Amazing communities. If you want to network, if you want to meet like-minded people, if you want to talk about business, sales, personal development, this is the place to be. So you're definitely in the right place. You know, and you know, stay open-minded to, you know, you're actually you're doing that. You're being open-minded, trying different things, and things will, you know, will eventually, doors will eventually open up to you, man. So I can really, yeah, I feel like you're ready for a change in your life right now, and you'll find it, man. Just keep you know, plugging along, opening up some doors, and eventually the right door will open up, man. So good on you for stepping out of you know, your comfort and trying something new, you know. So that's all we can do, and then, you know, take it from there, man. So your landscaping business you've been doing for a while?
Yeah, I've been doing that for 6 years. I've got a extensive background in a lot of different jobs. I've had like 35 jobs in my life, and basically the combo of experience and also the unhireability of somebody that's had 35 jobs in their life just sent me out to do something on my own, and I can landscape. I know that I started that right out of high school, and that was basically my college education, and so I fell back on my roots, and I just I don't know. I don't know. I'm on the precipice of something, and it feels incredible. But I gotta make the right connections. Is what it's about. That's what.
It's all about making connections. So you're definitely on the right call, man. You're at a crossroads right now, and you're looking to make the next move, and you know, making genuine connections like you are tonight is the first step, right? So good on you, man. I appreciate you, and thank you for being here tonight with us.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you.
Of course, of course, of course. So let's jump right into it, shall we? So again, this is kind of a sharing environment. We're here to really network and share ideas, bounce ideas off of one another. So tonight's subject of conversation is mindset, motivation, and mental habits. So myself and my two co-hosts kind of have a question for the group that we're going to shoot out there, and we're kind of to get the conversation going, and we're going to share some ideas. So I can get the party started with my question. What's one mindset shift or habit that's elevated your business or personal performance? So, you know, the last few months, year, whatever, what is one mindset shift that you've made or that you are looking to make in your business or even in your personal life?
For me,
anybody. It could be you, Tyler. I'm opening it up to the floor.
I'm trying to shift my whole mindset towards God and Jesus Christ, and try and represent Him in my life as best I can, and to allow that power and that to come in. I'm also, you know, I mean, it's I got to shift from a mindset of lack to a mindset of abundance. I also have to shift and curb addiction. It's all around in our world. Those are a couple of examples for me.
Yeah, I hear you. Are you someone that's gone through issues with addiction personally, or?
Yeah, I've had a couple rounds with it. I've had a couple rounds with alcoholism in particular. It just right now it's not a problem. I've been, you know, it's been a few years since I've considered it a problem, but you know, it's that mindset though that I need to break away from. I mean, that old mindset is what always gets me in the same place, and that's what I'm trying to change. So it's not necessarily in particular about an addiction, you know, it's just,
oh my God. It's the I hear you. I hear what you're saying. It's the same old cycle that you're going through right now, right?
Similar. Yeah. I would say that's true. I've been a long time ago, I got diagnosed bipolar disorder, and it's been a struggle. The realization of that has been a real struggle to try and change. I'm finally on a really good medication that's been working really, really, really well for the past 8 months, and it's just that mind. I don't know. I'm here for a mind shift, and it's it's going to be through a connection somewhere that I made.
Absolutely. Well, I mean, for myself, I can speak personally. I'm 6 years sober, and that shift really happened when I decided that I was going to quit alcohol for good. You know what I mean? Like, I was in that cycle. I was in that haze of alcoholism for the longest time, and everything shifted when I decided to get sober, and my life essentially began, or my second, my rebirth, so to speak, happened at that point, and everything. I mean, I'm here today speaking to you because I decided to get sober 6 years ago. It really made the world of a difference. So if you're considering getting sober, I mean, I would highly suggest, whether or not you have an issue with it. For me, if you want to be the best version of yourself, if you want to be a good entrepreneur, if you want to be a good father, if you want to be a good business person, if you want to be a good friend, if you want to just be the best version of yourself, for me, alcohol has no space in your life. So, that would be the number one thing that I would recommend. There are a lot of sober people on this call as well that could reiterate. Chris Tierney is nearing 1 year of sobriety, and he could also share a lot of things that he's gone through in the last year, and what he's been able to do through sobriety. So, I mean, for me, again, personally, whether or not you have an issue with alcohol, people don't even realize they have issues. It's a dependency. Depend on alcohol to make it through the day, make it through the week.
Right.
You know what I mean? You just don't need alcohol. It's in your life. So that would be step number one. If you're able to if you're considering it, I highly recommend it.
Yeah.
Would anybody else like to share?
Well, you guys have probably seen that I have been posting a lot recently about overcoming fears, and that's something that I have been very focused recently. Has been kind of like a very important shift in mindset that it has turned out pretty powerful, to be honest. Uh, the whole concept of this whole mental habit of actually each time that I feel fear towards doing something and focusing on overcoming that fear, focusing on actually going after that, it has been pretty powerful. It has given me a lot of really cool stories to share and a lot of insights that I have been analyzing and kind of fleshing out into into my post and into my journal. I believe that life, it's kind of a cliche, but life is truly at the other side of fear. You know,
It's true.
um and the thing is that when you made up your mind of actually not allowing fear to constrain the things that you can do, you gain so much freedom. And a brave man has a lot of options, but when you're cowardly, you constrain yourself so much, because there's not a lot of moves that you can actually make on the chessboard, you know.
Yeah, you're limiting yourself right off the bat. right off the bat before even starting. You're
Exactly.
limiting yourself.
Yeah, it's like a doubtful thought.
Yeah. Felipe, you had something to say?
Yes. Thank you, everyone, and Scott, for sharing this. You make me think that I met recently someone who was basically saying me that his mindset that is as soon as he was exposed to XYZ fear, he had to act. So this is the kind of new behavior, identity, mindset behavior that he had to implement. And I agree that most of the things that you want are going to be the other side of fear. So, and to come back to Rob's question, I would say that one of the biggest mindset shift that I've made is to be able to reiterate like pretty much all aspects of my life, and especially how I was behaving with people when I saw that I was kind of a taker and now trying to be someone who generally give as much as possible, especially when as I said in one of the posts in the community, as I wake up, I want to ensure that I send at least some positive message to someone, a best friend, a colleague, or whatsoever. And at the end of the day, just to make sure at least I added value, for example, a stranger, just helping someone like in the street, or for example, just holding door for XYZ few people out there, just to make sure that, you provide you send some positive energy in the world, do trying to add also value to your network. For example, this morning I was in another like networking call, and I was trying to suggest to some people who are doing international business if they wanted to connect with Canadian entrepreneurs that I knew because they were kind of in the same industry. So it could have been indeed great useful for them. So this is the kind of thing that I try to do, like genuinely add value at. It was.
I love that. Absolutely. Great stuff. Thanks for that. Appreciate that. Anybody else?
I'll jump in, Rob. So the question is, I guess, what's one mindset shift? I think the biggest shift for me, and I'm not sure if it's recent or if it's sort of just a resurgence of a thought. I've been doing this for a long time, right? At a high corporate level, at a high level as a coach. And it was after my conversation I had with Chris Martins yesterday, we were talking about it in one of the communities. And I mentioned that my mentor, when I first started coaching, so this goes back 10 plus years, said to me, stop trying to coach people, stop trying to mentor people, and just try to be a thinking partner. And I know the joke on all of our calls is that there's Brennan the thinking guy again, while we're all off running off doing action, there's Brennan sitting in his chair thinking. But it kind of really hit me yesterday that I've been doing this more intentionally for the last probably year or so, without saying that I was without meaning to do it, if that makes sense. The process was intentional without giving it a name, I guess is what I'm trying to say. And it's this idea of thinking. And I think as a whole, with whatever we're struggling with, whatever we're trying to work ourselves through, whether it be a business problem, a personal problem, whether it be an addiction problem, whether it be, whatever, is an attachment to thought, which I know is kind of weird for, the self-proclaimed thinker to say, but the problem is we attach ourselves to our thoughts as if our thoughts are really our thoughts, and they're not. They're just thoughts. And we should have the maturity and the ability to throw our good thoughts away as quickly and as fast as we throw our bad thoughts away. It's the attachment to thought that gets us actually stuck. And I think like to kind of bring the coaching thing into it, the way I kind of get this past myself is the same way I get my clients past their own things. It has nothing to do with anything I say. My experience of what I've gone through in my life has nothing to do with their life, and it's not going to be the thing that's going to get them past anything. No matter how many coaches believe that because they've been through something, they can coach somebody through something. It's just not the case. Because I go back to this idea of the thinking process, being a thinking partner. And a thinking partner is one who asks questions to ourselves, even, right? Whether maybe you're just coaching yourself. Coaches are probably the worst clients in the world because we think we know everything. We just don't ask the right questions. And the reason I think we don't ask the right questions is because we are so stuck with the thought of whatever the previous answer was that got us into the trouble in the first place, that the worst thing in the world we can do is admit to ourselves that we were just fucking wrong. And so we avoid asking the question that we already know the answer to because we don't want to admit the answer. And so in a couple of words to answer your question, Rob, I would say that mindset shift was ask better questions.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that totally makes sense. Not be afraid to ask the question, in the first place, right?
Yeah.
So going back to thoughts, you were mentioning good thoughts, bad thoughts. Like, do you have anything like what kind of strategy do you typically use when, let's say, you have a bad thought and you want to kind of change your mindset? You know what I mean? Like, do you have anything that you any strategies that you utilize at all, or like how do you go about shifting that thought?
Yeah, that's a good question. It actually kind of segues into the question I have for this topic. So maybe we'll kind of take care of both at the same time. And I think there's two ways that I do it. One is I sit in contemplation quite a bit. I have a little saying that I say is my entire day is filled with activity. Sometimes that activity is hustle and bustle. Sometimes that activity is stillness and silence, but it's all activity. And so I do a lot of contemplating. I try to ask myself better questions, and I'm a little bit hyperactive. So, I can sit in silence in a chair for 5 hours, asking myself questions. So contemplation, I think, is the one of them. The second one, though, I think is just action by rote, right? Doing things over and over and over again. And, to kind of segue into the question that I was going to ask, we'll kind of jump in there, see if we can kind of get the conversation going that way. The question I was going to ask is, when your focus feels scattered, how do you decide what actually matters most? And I want to give a little bit of context for that, because I think oftentimes we would say, well, I go out and I do something, or action creates the answers, or whatever that stuff is, right? We say that a lot, but is that really true? And so the context I'm going to put it in is think about that question. When your focus feels scattered, how do you decide what matters the most? Now, usually in our personal lives, we're not talking life or death. We're talking things that maybe are important to us, but it's not, we're not going to die tomorrow if we make this decision. In our businesses, we're probably not making a decision that's going to bankrupt us, right? Hopefully we're not making those crazy decisions off shooting from the hip. But in the world that I came from, for a lot of my career, corporate global risk management for a utility company, bad things happened. I'll even go back to when I was in the Air Force. I was a flight engineer on C-141, big heavy planes, cargo planes. And we had to make decisions in horrible situations. Three or four engines are out and we're going down. We got to make decisions. Your focus is scattered. How do you know what you're going to do? I'm at an event that there's 25,000 people whose lives and safety are in my hands, and there's a active shooter incident a block away from us. Or scaffolding fell and 5,000 people fell through scaffolding. I was working at a utility company, and that utility company had an active shooter incident where the shooter came in, killed four people, then shot himself. And so I asked the question in that context, when when the decisions you make could cost lives. So before we say we just do something, which is kind of the common answer that we give in the regular world, and admitting that those things that we're going to do are not going to cause death, hopefully, but I came from a world where it did. And so I was thinking, how did I make decisions on the fly that weren't going to cause more damage to people? And a lot of that just comes from, obviously I don't have time to get in my chair and get contemplative, right? That's the wrong time for that. So it comes from rote activity. You know, and like in the airplane incident, we drill those things. We drilled them every single day, hours and hours and hours and hours and hours. So it's kind of like secondhand nature. So it doesn't matter what's popping off in your head. You're going to make a decision via rote. You're going to do it quickly. And it kind of gets back to, you're going to make decisions that are right in front of your face, and then deal with the repercussions of those after that. So you're not trying to solve the entire problem at once. You're trying to solve the part that's right in front of your face. So I think that kind of answers your question about the strategies. I think it's part of it's thinking, and part of it is you've done it so many times. Each time is new, but the similar actions can get you through.
Yeah, that makes sense. Is anybody else would like to share or add on to that, Chris?
Yeah, I was just going to kind of jump in on and add my question in the mix as well while we're at it. From my perspective, it's a little bit different because I've been with a small family-owned business for most of my career, and so I've been an employee, and doing the mindset shift as an employee to an entrepreneur is completely different. I mean, you're given direction as an employee, so not necessarily order taking, but for the most part, you don't have to take 100% responsibility if you screw up. You know what I mean? And so the mindset shift for me has been making the decisions and making the smart decisions to the best of our ability. But also keeping in mind that, we're going to take it's all back on you too. So, with that, my question was, and
let's hold
yeah,
up
go ahead.
with your question, Chris. Let's circle back to Brennan's question and
Yeah,
put it up to the floor, and then we'll come back to yours afterwards, if you don't mind.
Not at all.
So, Brennan, if you don't mind just repeating your question, it basically is when you're feeling scattered, how do you zero in on what the priority is for you, right?
Exactly.
Anybody would like to jump in on that?
I would. For me, when I get scattered like that and I just can't put my finger on it, I always go back to silence. Just find a quiet place and pray and connect with my higher power spiritually, and just disconnect kind of, and do that communication with your higher power, whatever it is. And usually for me anyways, I mean, usually the answer presents itself very quickly.
So you kind of take a step back.
Yeah, I have to disconnect.
You disconnect, and you take a minute to analyze the situation from a little bit of a distance.
Well, it's actually,
Quiet
I just
space.
stopped thinking. Like Brandon was talking about earlier, I mean, you have to shut that thinker off.
Yeah, definitely. I kind of have like 3 different strategies that I use depending on the situation. The first one is when I feel scattered, I change environment. Like you said, I take a step back. I'll usually, my place of reflection, my happy place is the gym, for instance. That's where I do most of my clearest thinking. So when I'm feeling scattered, when I'm feeling anxious, like when I'm feeling like I'm all over the place, I'll usually go to the gym and work it out, do some sort of physical activity to help with mental clarity. The second thing that I do is I always go with checklists. I mean, if I don't have a checklist in front of me, you know, I tend to get scattered. I tend to forget what I'm supposed to be doing first. So I kind of write everything down by priority. I do that every single day. I do that every single week. I do that every month. You know, I kind of break it down and I adjust it as I go and I just check things off. That's kind of how my brain works, because or else I'm a little bit all over the place. And the third one is I kind of eliminate all of the hypotheticals, the what ifs in my life. You know, I kind of just zero in on the task at hand. I don't try to worry about what if I make the wrong mistake, what if I don't do this, what if this happens, or I can't predict the world, right? I don't worry about hypotheticals or what ifs. I focus in on what is the task at hand in front of me, and what will happen tomorrow will happen tomorrow. I can't worry about that, right? We tend to focus in on the next day and the next week, and what if it goes wrong, or we put these scenarios in our minds. We can't predict that. There's nothing that we can do about those things. They'll happen, they won't happen, we don't know. Worrying won't change anything, right? So I kind of just zero in on what's in front of me, and whatever happens tomorrow, I'll tackle it tomorrow and take it one step at a time. So you kind of simplify it and do it like, you know, micro stepping towards your objective, you know. So those are kind of three strategies that I use depending on the situation, the scenario. Anybody else would like to share anything, their strategies that they use to help with focus and prioritizing? Felipe?
Yeah, so thank you for sharing. Indeed, I would say that the same similar thing that I do, especially on your third point, is that when I get scattered in some kind of such a bad whatsoever pattern, I'm asking myself, okay, Phil, is it noise or is it signal? Like if it's noise, cut it out. If it's signal, okay, you can go with it. Is it going to help with your purpose? Is it, or like, are you on the right track and whatsoever? So also I try to track pretty much everything like on a journal. I craft myself some typically some, I would not say protocols, but some checklists like I do daily. And honestly, I use Notion for that. It's like it's just like for me, it's phenomenal. It's really amazing. Like I have like my checklist, my to-do list. Like have you three things to do today, and at the same time, I have my like ultimate all over checker, which is for example today. Okay, so today, have you spent money? Have you did money? Have you add value? Have you like connect with your network? Have you,
Reminders.
how was your mood? Like, have you did your visualization? Have you, you know, like, whatsoever. Do 30-minute exercise, for example, and whatsoever. So
You can cut there. I think we lost you.
I think he's frozen. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I like the reminders, definitely. You know, things that are important to you that you want to check off on during your day. It completely makes sense. Anybody else like to add?
Well, I have to agree a lot with Felipe and also with you, Rob. And especially, I do believe like when you get scattered and when you don't really know what are your priorities, probably the most important thing that you can do about it is to go back to your journal and to journal deeply, like to do deep journaling about it and to actually set your priorities, because the answer is always there. The thing is that we don't ask the question. that is usually the problem. We walk aimless around life, and we don't sit for an hour, for two. We don't go, like Tyler said, into silence, actually retreat and disconnect, cut out all the noise, and try to connect with a higher power, to actually understand better ourselves, to actually channel through us that life force. And when we take that step back, and when we actually sit down and clear all those distractions and sit down to do some deep journaling or prayer or meditation, usually deep journaling works wonderfully to me. When I sit down to actually prioritize what I want to do, I will go into my journal, I will write about it, and I will think through it. I will ask the right questions. They always come up. When you come up with those answers, then you just gotta try to align your day in order to serve that purpose that you want to achieve, that thing that you believe to be like your highest priority, that thing that you want to do. And once you got that, translate it into a timetable, into a checklist, and then you know what to do every day consistently in order to achieve that goal.
Agreed. Thanks for sharing.
Thanks.
Anybody else?
Yeah, I could talk to this actually, if that's okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
Sorry, my computer was overheating. I'm not usually outside this time of day, so it's just directly in the sun. So I'm sorry about that. But if you guys at any point can't hear me, it's probably because it's just overheating. But yeah, I mean, I would say prioritizing. You know, we always talk about we always have 24 hours in the day, right? That's a given. What we don't talk about is the energy that we have, and this might be a little spiritual, but you know, it's obviously we go through ebbs and flows throughout the day. Mornings we have more energy maybe than most. On average, at least I have more energy in the morning, and in the evening, people are evening people. And I would say definitely, you know, prioritize. You know, what is it where you can essentially manage that energy and essentially stay in a space where you're like pretty much always either in a good state where maybe there's a creative state, or maybe there's a time where it's just like, you know, like you're not going to be on camera and it's just like it's your downtime. And I would say just prioritize that. And what is that for you? You know, what actually creates that where you actually feel lit up to be on camera? And, you know, we all go through those emotions. So I would say get really clear. Maybe it's going on a hike. Maybe it's working out, right? Maybe it's just screaming into a pillow, whatever it is for you that would get that restraint out, find it, and then essentially see what's best for you throughout the day, and where are your highs, where are your lows, and try to almost operate to that level. And you know, I hope that makes sense. But yeah, essentially like finding what levels of energy you are at higher times of the day than others.
Yeah, that totally makes sense to me. I completely resonate with that. For myself, I'm totally a morning person, and you know, don't ask me to be, you know, productive in the evening. It just doesn't happen. I know that my mind is tired. You know, I'm just not as efficient. I'm not thinking clear. I tend to go more to the negative side in the evenings just because it's natural. I'm tired. I'm super energetic in the morning. I'm where I'm most positive. I'm typically at the gym. My mind is clear. I'm firing on all cylinders. That's when I'll make my best decisions, is in the morning. You know, so I know that about myself. So it's a great point. It's about knowing yourself and where your energies are, and how, you know, you could maximize and optimize your energies, right? So that completely makes sense. Some people, like my wife, she's an evening person. She loves to work in the evening. So between the two of us, we've kind of worked 24 hours a day because, you know, we're just like completely different like that. So she's on the laptop right now. She's doing her accounting. She could go until 10, 11, you know, midnight at night. She loves that. For me, it's my downtime. You know what I mean? I'm more efficient in the morning. So it's about knowing, you know, where your energies are throughout the day. So that completely makes sense to me.
Yeah.
Anybody else would like to add on to that?
Yes, I would actually.
Go ahead.
So somebody else was talking about taking notes and writing things down. I actually carry a steno pad with me every day of what I have to do, and I number those and I put them on that pad. And then as the day goes, if there's something that gets added to my list, I write that on there. If there's something I don't cross off today, I flip it over and I put it on tomorrow's page. And like I was saying about social media, I'm clueless, and so I have to put that on my list. You know, check TikTok, check Instagram, check Facebook, because I don't do that normally. You know, did anybody else new follow me? Should I find a new follower? You know, so I have to tell myself to do those things, specifically in what I'm trying to accomplish business wise right now. But I just carry the steno book around with me constantly. And then if I don't mark it off today, then it must not have been that important. I put it on tomorrow's list. And if it was that important, I stay up until I do it.
Yeah. So do the same. I do the same. Absolutely. Good stuff. It's about, you know, setting reminders that don't come naturally to us. Like you just said, you know, like checking social media is not something that comes naturally to you. So you have to set reminders that you have to check these things. Other things that come naturally to you, they just come naturally to you. It's a habit, you know, so. And it's also kind of shifting those things that don't come natural to you, getting them to become natural, you know, things to do, right? So, and that you kind of have to slowly change your identity into things that, you know, into a person that has those habits, that has those things that don't typically come natural to you or haven't come natural to you in the past, and have those come into, like, it's kind of like going to the gym. People don't have the habit of going to the gym. They find it difficult. It's out of their normal scope of habits, but eventually you put in the reps long enough, it just becomes an automatic, and just it becomes part of your routine, right? I always say when you go to the gym, you have to hit that 3-month mark. Once you hit that 3-month mark of consistency, you know, putting in the work every single day, it eventually becomes a part of your routine naturally. And that you can apply to anything really in your life. You do something consistently enough for an extended period of time, it eventually becomes part of you, a part of your routine, and it's like on autopilot after a while, right? So for me, my morning routine is all about that, is all about setting intention for the day and making sure that everything that I do in that day is like kind of on autopilot. I've identified that if I go through that routine, it sets me up for the rest of the day, kind of thing, right? So, and it could be different for everybody, you know, identify what that magic formula is, that recipe for success that works for you, whether it's a morning routine, evening routine, whatever it is, and utilize it and repeat it until it becomes an automatic thing for you, you know, becomes a natural thing.
Right.
Anybody else would like to share or add on, or maybe we can move on to Chris's question if nobody else has anything to add. Mr. Chris?
Yeah, again, I didn't mean to interject on your question there, Brennan. I just got a little sidetracked there.
It's all good, man.
But yeah, obviously I completely agree with fitness. For me, everybody has their own style, you know, but fitness and sobriety is mine, and that really helps me keep zoomed in. But you know, being that I've just kind of I'm just getting into the entrepreneurial phase where, other than Sales Vibe Innovations about a year ago, so I'm getting there. But this is more for like when you're starting out from an entrepreneurial standpoint, and not just in business as an employee or anything like that. But if you could give your just starting out self one piece of brutal, honest advice, what would it be and why? And
good question.
Yeah, and so I'm thinking about that one myself, and there's a lot of things I can think of, but I'd like to get everybody else's perspective on it, because I'd really like to hear it.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah. Anybody would like to jump in on that? It's a
Can you
great
repeat the
question.
Can you repeat the
Go ahead,
question?
Tyler.
Yeah, sure, Tyler. And by the way, I meant to say you are a 50-minute drive from me.
Oh,
I'm in
really?
Kansas City. You're in Topeka. I'm also a K-Stater, by the way.
Oh, nice.
Yep. But the question was, if you can give your just starting out self one piece of brutal, honest advice, what would it be and why?
Okay. I'm gonna have to think on it.
Anybody want to jump in?
I don't know if it's brutal and honest, but for me, I'm okay to make a mistake. Like
Yes.
especially with social media, because I don't know what I'm doing. So don't put that much pressure on me to be perfect with it, because I don't know. If I make a mistake, I fix it and I move on,
Well, if you
Yeah,
aren't
I
making a
would.
mistake, you ain't working, you know?
Right.
That's
I'm
right.
not learning for sure.
I would say don't be afraid to make any mistakes, because those mistakes are learning opportunities. Every
Right.
single mistake is a learning opportunity. So don't be
Right.
afraid. Make mistakes.
Right.
Don't just go make mistakes and learn from them,
And learn
because
from it. Right. Don't make them
it's a normal
again.
process. It's a normal part of the thing. And I would
Right.
say also just don't give up. It's easier said than done, but just
Right.
don't. A lot of people give up on themselves way too easily.
Right.
As soon as they hit a bump in a road, it's like, let's turn back. This is too hard.
Right.
But anything you take on in life, there are going to be challenges, there are going to be struggles, there are going to be setbacks.
For sure.
Just don't give up. Just don't give up. Push through.
Right.
I think I take it a little bit deeper. I would say, because the question was about brutal, honest advice. So I'd be brutal. I think I would tell my younger self, you're gonna suck. Like, get over right now. You're gonna suck at whatever you're trying to be. But here's the twist on that. Everybody else sucks too. So stop following the leader, because that leader doesn't know half as much as they pretend like they do. You're gonna suck. Get used to it. Go out there and get better.
Yeah, I mean, totally. Just as an analogy, the very first video I did sucked. It was terrible. I'm getting better and better and better at it because I'm learning from it. I just started, you know? And so yeah, I guess that is one way of just really one brutal piece of advice is just start it and do it. And you're gonna make mistakes.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
Perfection
if I
doesn't
can,
exist.
if I can add on this, I would say indeed, like, majorly just start, because eventually it will never be perfect. Then make sure to understand that you have the client's needs in head always, and the rest you just figure out, keep refining, go for it. You're gonna make mistakes, and it's okay. And most of the time, I would say stick to one project, and when you're gonna hit that kind of informed pessimistic phase where you're gonna realize that it's way much harder than what you thought, just keep going, and
Yeah.
don't change the business model.
Yeah.
So yeah, this is what I would say.
Yeah. Absolutely. Stick to one thing for an extended period of time. Stop freaking chasing the next shiny thing. We tend to have very, short-minded, mindsets these days. Our attention span is very small, right? So we kind of get distracted by the next shiny thing all the time. Oh, I'm gonna do this. Oh, I'm gonna do this. Oh, this is the new thing. Focus on one thing for an extended period of time. Give yourself an opportunity for success. Business, for those of us that are in business for a while, we know that it takes years before we even start to see the light. It could take 2, 3, 4, 5 years before we start to really turn a corner with a business. It's the same thing with anything that we take on, any new project that we take on, whether it's in business or not. We have to allow ourselves some time to learn, to grow, to make mistakes, to not suck, right?
Yeah.
There's a process to that, and we often lose, patience on ourselves, and we're hard on ourselves for no reason. I mean, everybody started somewhere, right? We see the success, but we don't see the training ground. We see the trophies, so we don't see the training ground, right? We think that things happen overnight. It just doesn't. There's a process to things. So stop being so hard on yourself, and trust in your ability to figure shit out on as you go along. Trust in yourself. Trust in your own ability that you'll figure it out. You know, that's kind of one thing that I've kind of always put in my mind. Most of the time, every single time I've started something, I had no idea what the fuck I was doing. No idea, to be brutally honest. I had no idea what I was doing when I started a community. I had no idea when I started, an Airbnb business. I had no idea when I was in the corporate world. When I opened up a freaking restaurant I had never worked in the restaurant industry. Not as a waiter, not as a busboy, not as a sous chef, nothing. And I opened up a restaurant. I mean, it was nuts. And I did it for 2 years, and I moved on. But every single time, I had no idea what I was doing, but I did it anyway because I trusted in my ability to figure it out. And that's one thing that I would definitely say to anybody starting out: just trust in your ability to figure shit out as you go along. You can't predict everything. You're going to come up to certain situations that you can't think of. You're not going to be able to think of these situations until you're faced with them. And then what? Now you have to take action. You have to be resourceful. You have to figure out solutions to keep going, So that's what I would say.
And to add on to that, Rob, you know, if something just isn't working and you're doing it time and time again and you're in the habit of doing it and it's just not happening, it's okay to make changes. It's okay to change something. Like, just as an example, I've been sitting in the same position in my office for a little over 2.5 to 3 years, in the exact same chair, in the exact same position. And yesterday, I was like, what? I'm going to rearrange my office. I rearranged my office, changed it all around. And I go into my office now, I'm like, it's like a breath of fresh air. It was a good change. It was like, there was something in me that just felt different. And so, anyways, just as an example, it's okay to make changes, and that's exactly what I did. I wasn't scared to make that change. I mean, it's just moving an office around, but figuratively speaking, you know what I mean?
Yeah, that makes sense. Agreed. Anybody else would like to jump in?
I think for me, it'd have to be like just keeping your faith. Don't doubt your faith in your mission and what you're here for. Don't doubt it for a second.
Yeah, keep the faith. Yeah, keep that dream, in the forefront of your mind. Stay focused on that and trust that things will work out. Don't worry about what could happen, and just trust and have faith.
I mean, like, I think for me anyways, and I'm speaking for me, but I'm going to touch on the spiritual again. It's just being in touch with that power and allowing it to work in my life. And well, for example, I've had a couple near-death experiences in my life, and to never doubt that faith, and just I think that would be most honestly what I would tell myself. Back to my 18-year-old self, and got somebody calling me for some reason. I can think of 18 years old.
Your volume.
Wanting to set out for running my own landscape business.
Still can't hear you, man.
Okay. Can you hear me now?
Yes, sir.
Okay. I apologize about that, but I had a dream to open my landscaping business when I was 18 years old, and I literally went around it for probably 17 years, and I had to hit a rock bottom, and I couldn't do anything else, and so I went back to it, and it was a divine inspiration. I was literally standing in my living room, made the prayer, and the snap happened, and I saw this vision, literally, and that's what's inspired me to keep going. That connection and that contact, and that's all I want to I'll touch on that, but yeah, that spiritual aspect of whatever it is that you have, that you believe in, to just have that faith and go with it 100%.
Amen to that.
I think so the hardcore me would say, you're going to suck and get over it, but I think the more compassionate me would let the younger me know that it's okay, right? That and maybe even apologize from some, Tyler's talking spiritual, from some spiritual level, apologize for ever introducing the thought that you had to be perfect in the first place. I think that's what so many of us are fighting against, right? It's not this fear of perfection. It's this idea that somehow was installed in us as kids. We're all dealing with childhood traumas, that we had to be right, that we had to be good boys and girls, that we had to fit this version or this vision of perfection. And I think we spend most of our adult lives trying to get past that.
Yeah, that's a great point. Absolutely. Absolutely. Myself, I've gone through a lot of that stuff. You got to work through that, and not be so hard on yourself. And perfection is something that I thought I had to be for the longest time. It took almost 35 years to realize that I don't have to be perfect, And yeah, no. You're absolutely right. We want to, we're so afraid to make mistakes. We're so afraid to be imperfect, but we're in an imperfect world. We're all imperfect beings, and it's okay to be imperfect and make mistakes.
I was watching this Billy Joel special a couple days ago, and I was just talking about his whole career, and obviously, prolific songwriter and performer, everything. We all get it. But he was talking about Elton John, and I guess Elton John has this quote where once he figured out that he was never going to be Beethoven, his playing got better. And what was funny is Billy Joel said, the problem I have is I still haven't figured out that I'm not going to be Beethoven. So, I mean, it's just it's this idea of thinking that you're really, really, really good, and then meeting somebody who is just a million times better than you'll ever be. And it changes everything. Like when I first started speaking on stages, I thought I was pretty good. I had an acting background as a kid and as a young adult. And so when I started speaking professionally, I thought, this is going to be a piece of cake. I'm used to being on stage. And I was young and full of ego, and I thought I was incredible. And then I met somebody who was just at a level of speaking that I will never, as long as I try, will be as good as him. And it was really relieving, like, to take the pressure off. Like, you're not going to be it, so don't even try to be it. Just be you. It was like eye-opening. And then I became better because of that.
Yeah, totally. Anybody else would like to share? And that? No? Yes. So we're going close to we're close to 2 hours now, an hour 40. So we could close things up, unless anybody else would like to add anything else before we close up. If
I'm
not,
worried, I'm
I'll
worried
end the
about
call.
Scott. Why is Scott not talking tonight, man? Scott's normally, what's going
Yeah,
on,
yeah,
Scott? I'm
that's
worried
right.
about you,
I want to hear
brother.
what he's got to say.
Yeah, I actually wanted to mention before, like before with the round, with the question that Chris put out there. I wanted to thank him because it was a really good question. And the thing is that I forgot to mention it, and I wanted to mention it because I saw everybody just going through, like taking a shot at that question, and I realized after everybody said what they were going to say, I realized, oh shit, like it's like if everybody had said exactly what I was thinking, exactly like every single word that all of you guys said. It was like, oh my god, I just felt so grateful to be surrounded by so many like-minded people.
That's what it's all about, man.
Yeah,
Thank you for
that's
sharing,
awesome.
man. Yeah, good stuff. Good stuff. All right, guys. Well, thank you so much for being here once again. It was nice to see some new faces and some familiar faces as well, of course. This call for the new faces is every single Tuesday at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. Uh, please feel free to come back. Please feel free to invite some other people in. This is not limited to only people that are on school. It could be, anybody that's interested in networking and connecting online. So please feel free to get some people in. Our objective is really to build this up to, we want to see 100 people on this call, right? Eventually. So that's our objective. We also have our Saturday call that Brendan and I host as well, Success Saturdays, where we touch on personal development, less about business. If you're interested in personal development, it's a great call as well. And if you haven't yet, signed up to all three of our communities, please, Pure Life Mindset, SVI, Sales Vibe Innovations, and Recreate. Highly recommend you signing up or you joining to all three communities. You got a nice trifecta there. So thank you again, guys, for the call. I really appreciate your engagement, and we'll be in touch within our communities, and we'll see each other on the next one.
Thank you, Rob. Thank you for real. And I'm really glad to have seen here Steven. Actually, I'm in his community, actually, in Magnetic membership. And yeah,
good to see you, Scott.
Yeah, bro, you're amazing, bro. Just keep rocking it. I hope to see you more on these calls, 100%. And I'm looking forward to our upcoming call. Yeah.
Yes, sir. Let's do it.
Good stuff, gentlemen. All right, guys. Have a good evening. We'll be in touch soon.
Thank
Take
you,
care.
everybody.
Thank you.